Good evening and welcome to today's class. So yesterday we did the if statement, the nested if, we did sum, we did average, we did minimum, we also did maximum. So today we will continue with the and or. So the and or is still in the it's still a logical function, right? So you use the and to maybe add another formula inside the if statement. Let me explain this better. Okay, so for the and, it's like saying sometimes we want to check two things at once. For example, we want to say example like was sales above 6,000 and profit above 3,000. You know this while we've just been talking about sales. If sales is above this, then this. If not, then this. So to use the and statement, you have to say if sales is above 6,000 and profit is above 3,000, then we'll call it a profitable day. But if not, we can say that it is not profitable. So we use the and to check two conditions. So for the formula, we can just say so this is and right, yeah. So we can just say equal to if we double tap, then we go with the and formula as well. If and right sales. So this is the sales is what is above. Okay, let's do 5,000. Is above 5,000. You go with your greater than sign. Is above 5,000. Then and sorry 5,000 and what again and expenses, right, is what lesser than say 2,000, or do we do three? Let's say 3,000. Yeah, lesser than 3,000. What happens? You going with your comma sign. What happens if sales is above 5,000 and expenses is lesser than 3,000? What happens? We'll call it a profitable day, right? So remember I said I always use your quotation mark whenever you want to type in something. We'll call it a profitable day, right? Okay, so what happens if the value if false? So if it is not above, if sales is not above 5,000 and profit is not below 3,000, what do we say? We call it a non, let's say not profitable, not profitable, sure. So you close your bracket. And that is it. You also count how many brackets are open and closed. So one, two brackets are open. How many are closed? One, two are closed. Okay. So enter. So it is not a profitable day because We wanted to know if the days, if sales is above 5,000 and profit, sorry, expenses less than 3,000. So, okay. So sales is 5,000 and expenses is 2,000. So it's not profitable because we said above. So if we did, um, if sales is less, greater than or equal to, then it will be a profitable day because we've given it, something to work with. We've said, okay, it should, if it is 5,000 or above, then it is a profitable day. But if we say just above 5,000, so it is obviously not a profitable day. That is one formula you should know. So if you're saying from 5,000 and above, it is profitable, then you have to give it this formula, greater than or equal to. But if you just want anything above 5,000, only 5,000, then you remove the equal to sign. So it is not profitable. In the former class, we went through this where you take your cursor to the edge and double tap. And so 6,500 and expenses. Sales is above 5,000 here, and expenses is below 3,000. So it's a profitable day, of course. Sales is not above 5,000 and expenses is below. That means it has to meet the both criteria, right? So, but if we okay, we'll do or next. Or is if it is this or it is this, like one must fit in for all. But if it is and, the two must be correct. Like here now, sales is not above 5,000, but expenses is below 3,000. But still, it is not a profitable day. Here, sales is above 5,000, but expenses is not below 3,000 and it is not a profitable day. So if we had done for the expenses part, we say lesser than or equal to 3,000. It's going to be a profitable day because sales is obviously above 5,000 and the expenses is equal to or lesser than 3,000. But that is not what we're doing. We're doing lesser than 3,000. So here, sales is 8,000 and expenses is 3,200. So for the sales aspect, it is correct. It is greater than 5,000. But for the expenses aspect, than, it is higher than 3,000 rather. So it is not profitable. That is it for and. So for or, you can say, um, so it's still the same thing. We can just say if we're having a high sales or very low expenses is a special day. Like any day we have, if sales is greater than 7,000 or expenses is lesser than 2,000, it is a special day. But any day that sales or profit, like one must be correct, right? It's either sales is higher than 7,000 or profit is lesser than 2,000. If any of this matches, then we call it a special day. But if none of them matches, then it is just a normal day. So like I said, one thing with Excel, just whenever you think of something, just think of it like you were speaking to someone, just know the formulas. So for the or, we're going to say if, word, if and or. So sales, right? These are sales. Is what is greater than 7,000 or expenses is lesser than 2,000. So if any of this happens, then we'll call it a special day. So remember, whenever you're typing something, you put it in a quotation mark. So if not, what happens? We call it a normal day. Then you close your bracket. So why is it a normal day? It is a normal day because sales is obviously not above 7,000 and expenses is not below 2,000. So it is a normal day. Let's check for others. Uh, it's a normal day for Tuesday because sales is not above 7,000 and expenses is not below 25. Normal day. All right. It's a special day for Wednesday. Why? Sales is obviously not above 7,000 on Wednesday. So why is it special? It is special because expenses is lesser than 2,000. So the same for Thursday because sales is above 7,000, but expenses is way above 2,000. But it's especially because one of the criteria were met. So for Friday, it's a special day because sales is above 7,000 and expenses is not below 2,000, but then the sales criteria was met. So that is it for the or statement. Then I think we should also try for the basic percentage. Let's say if you want to know what percentage of sales went to expenses. Where should I put this? Okay, basic percentage. So to know the basic percentage, like I said, the percentage of sales that went to expenses. So it's obviously going to be equal to doing like the total sales, right? Divided by, sorry, total expenses, mistake. So, we already summed our sales here, right? And we summed our expenses here. So let's say, right, this is our total expenses divided by this is our total sales. Then you multiply by 100. Let's see this one. So we have 40.7166 percentage. So we're just saying it's saying basically that 40.7% of sales went into expenses. So you use like 40% of the money you made from this goods to run the expenses. So, and it is, mm, we can't say that it is bad, but we cannot say that it is good either. Well, business people will know best. So, also we can format this column so it can be in a percentage format. So what you have to do is take your cursor here. Once it changes to this arrow that is facing down, you tap on your screen, you right click, and then you see format sales, format cells. So when you click on the format cells, you see general number. If you want it that particular column to be in number form, if you want it to be in currency, date, time, percentage. So we want it to be in a percentage format. So you click on the percentage. Do we want decimal places? Decimal places like the numbers that come after the point. So do we want that, or we just want it to round up? Well, let's just say just one decimal place. So click on OK. And there you go. Hold in. Okay. Let's do none. Okay. So yeah, you can also format other columns, right? Like this sales column now, we can format it to be in currency, but there's already something under here. But let's see how it goes. Currency, decimal place, none. So what currency? We need Nigerian naira, right? So let's look for naira. Okay. Oh, we have so many nairas. So you can use any one you want to use. We have Igbo naira, we have Yoruba naira, we have. I don't even know why it's like this. We even have Edo somewhere. So let's use this naira. Okay. So you see now we have naira in this column now 5,000, 6,500 naira. But well, we'll get to that soon. Let me just put it in general. Okay. This two, general, right. Okay, so also there is something called count in Excel. So count is just typically counting. It counts how many numbers are in a range. So it is useful to know numbers of sales. So numbers of sales day, right? So let's say if you count this now, we already know that the sales day is Monday to Friday because this business doesn't open on Saturdays and Sundays. But if you have a large data set, there's no way you know because sometimes you have like 1 million um columns. There's no way you know, so you just have to use the count to find out. So for that, just it's very simple. All you have to do is equal to count. So what are you counting? Normally, what you have to do is if you have like a large data set, right? What you have to do is you just take your cursor up here. When it changes to this arrow, you tap on it and it counts everything in the arrow. But since we already know, we just know that it is from here to here. This is like the formulas we did. So you just have to do it manually. You just have to take your cursor here and highlight everything and enter. So it gave us 5. So the business opened for 5 business days in a week. So since open Monday to Fridays, if this should be like a month data set, so it should have 20, at least 20 count, right? Because Monday to Friday, first week, Monday to Friday, second week, Monday to Friday, third week, Monday to Friday, fourth week. That is 20, right? So, but some weeks have like some month has 5 weeks in it. So just give or take 20. But we already know it's just one. We're working with a week data set. Okay, so that is it for um the formulas for today. I think I have to open the floor for question. So today we've learned the math and stats functions that powers data analytics mostly. So these are like the building blocks before we start making charts, visualizing trends, pivot tables, and all of that. So these are like the basic things you need to know in Excel before we move on to the main reason why we are here. So does anyone have just going to